Hey all. So today we will talk about the new service, network file storage. The storage which is accessible over the network and multiple clients can connect to it at the same time. In other way, I would say the same storage is shared between the multiple clients. So today we will see what are the services available in Azure, AWS and GCP. So let's start. In Azure, there is a Azure file storage services available which work as a network file storage. This service is not directly accessible to you or not available to you. You have to first create a Azure storage account with version 2. Under that, you can get this service. Okay, so that is the requirement of this service to be enabled. Then this service is being used, or it supports to the Linux OS, Windows OS, and Mac OS as well. So, and this service support SMB protocol as well as NFS protocol. And going one step ahead, this service can be used as a persistent storage for Azure Container Service as well. So let's talk about AWS. In AWS, you will find two types of services. One is Amazon EFS, Elastic File System. So this service can be used as a network file storage, and from the Linux instance, you can access this service. Now, what about the Windows? So Windows right now, they don't have a capability with EFS, which can mount on the Windows machines. Okay, for Windows machines, you need to go with the other type of service, that is they call FSX. So FSX have a capability to support Linux, Windows, and Mac OS as well. Okay, so for Windows, you need to go with the FSX. And what about GCP? So GCP have a GCP file store is dedicatedly being shared with the Linux system. So if you have Linux system, then you can provision this service and you can use it. Okay, so going forward, we'll see what other options, what are the other configurations is available with these services. Let's talk about the sizing part. So in Azure file storage, you can get two types of file. One is the standard, or other one is premium. If you go with the standard file share, then it provides up to 5 TB of storage. If you want to go further from 5 TB, then you need to go to premium. Okay, so either you have to select standard or premium to get a maximum storage. In the AWS, you can see EFS. There is no limit as such. So if you configure the EFS, you will not see any kind of option through which you can add a disk. Okay, or you can mention the storage type, storage size. Okay, so but if you go with the FSX, so FSX, there is a maximum limit is 6 TB. So a maximum 32 GB you can use, or maximum 65 TB you can use. In GCP file store, minimum 1 TB you have to configure, or if you want to go further, so up to 100 TB you can go. Okay, so there is a multiple tier available. We'll talk about that as well. So let's talk about the performance part. So in Azure, you can configure it. You can get 4 types of option. First one is the premium option. So premium is kind of option where when you require a very high throughput, low latency, and there is a input output operation is very high. In that case, you can go with the premium. But transaction optimize, it's kind of heavy workload, but latency is not a criteria. And then you have hot as well. Option is also available. So hot is kind of general purpose, and cool is you can use as the archive purpose. In AWS, you can see there is a storage, standard storage, and there is a one zone storage. In standard storage, you can get 2 types. One is a standard storage class. It is active file system, or else you can go for IA storage class. So IA stands for infrequent access. So it can save your cost. Similarly, one zone storage, as the name mentioned, this service available for only one zone. Again, it comes with the two classes. One is the one zone storage class, it is active, and the other one is the IA class, infrequent access class. Okay, similarly, you can use any one of them. In GCP, you can see three types of option. One is the basic, is a general purpose, or else you can go with enterprise. In the enterprise, where you look for a business critical workload to handle. In that case, you can go with enterprise. And high scale also, if you have a requirement of good performance, okay, in that case, you can go with the high scale. Let's talk about how can we access this storage, right? So in AWS, sorry, in Azure, let's see how we can access this storage. In Azure, when you configure the file storage or when you configure the file share, in that case, you can get an option to connect. When you click on connect onto the file share, you can get a pre-configured script. So that script is different for Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. You have to just copy the script and you have to execute on the client machine, and the drive will be mounted. Or else you can also get option of AD integration. So AD integration, like you can go with the on-premises AD, or else you can go with the ADDS service of Azure. In the AWS, you can get you have to use EFS client. You have to configure the EFS client to mount the drive. For FSX, you need to do AD integration. Either you can use the AWS pass-based directory service, or you can use the on-premises AD as well. In GCP, it's more support to Linux machine. So they have mentioned about the NFS client. So you have to configure the NFS client to mount the drive or mount the storage. Let's talk about security now. From security standpoint, you can do encryption. So encryption will be applied on the storage level. You can also control the access through firewall. The firewall setting will be available under the networking section. Also, you can enable the TLS version 1.2 for client. So client having the same version on their system, only those clients can access this file storage. Similarly, in AWS also, you can see encryption is available. You can use the encryption to apply the security. While configuring the EFS, you can also see a file system policies. It is the optional one, but you can configure it for better control. And then there is also option available about a network security group. It's nothing but a firewall. You can use that as well. In the GCP, similar like your AWS, this is a firewall rule to be configured to control the access to your GCP file store. As well as additionally, they also give an option about a VPC service control that can be configured to control your service. So now let's talk about the connectivity part. So when you configure this file storage, you can access this file storage within a VNet. You can also get an option about a private link, or else you can also connect to this service through hybrid connectivity. Okay. And similarly with AWS, you can access this service within a VPC, and hybrid connectivity is also available with this. So on premises, you can connect to this service. Similarly for GCP also, same stuff within a VPC is available, and hybrid connectivity is also option available. Now let's talk about a backup. In Azure, for a backup, they have given option as a manual snapshot. So you can take a manual snapshot for a backup. So snapshot up to 200 snapshot you can take as a limit. Azure backup service is a different service which you have to use to take a backup of your file storage. Similarly, in AWS also, AWS have a AWS backup service which can be used for a backup, as well as you can use EFS to EFS backup solution. And for GCP, for file store, they have given an additional backup service which can take your file store backup. For pricing, you need to understand that your pricing is depend on the two factor. One is the data storage, and other one is the transaction. So the costing will be based on the per GB your storage and per GB transaction. Similarly, AWS also does that. In GCP, they use a service tier, instance capacity, and region where you provision your this file store instance. Based on that, the cost will be occurred. So overall, we talked about the file store. So it is not a compulsion when you go to the Azure, AWS or GCP, you have to use these services. This is the PaaS-based services. It has a very good features. You can leverage that feature, okay, and you can use it. Or else you can go with some third-party solution as well. So by seeing this video, you must have got the idea how to use the service and what are the options available with this service. So thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.